was coming. He just knew how to defend it, and he was like, he probably had no idea Burrow was there, and he's like, this is terrible. Then we saw the Burrow, he was like, okay, but you still don't have enough roaches here,
it's
so
like
it
you
doesn't
have
matter.
3 roaches behind my mineral line. I just set up a surround, and I'll be totally ready for you. So I feel like my advice to Dark is just play your game, play standard. You can definitely go head-to-head in a macro game against Solar. You just got to try to go for that one. So, guys, we are going to jump into game number 4 on Prime Terraces between Solar and Dark right now. We are here on Prime Terraces, the gold natural and gold third map. Down in the bottom right in the red, the Zerg player, it is Solar.
And his opponent up to the top left in blue, it is Dark. His opponent, the other Zerg player, going for it looks to be a faster gas, just slightly. I mean, like 2 seconds faster or so.
A bit slower of a spawning pool, similar builds. And maybe he wants to get a very fast speed on this map.
It's like a 1 drone difference if you guys look at the, the W count on screen.
Yeah, and a 12 gas difference, so he's gotten 3 more trips there. And I suppose, my idea would just be a faster speed. Try to control the map, get over to your opponent's base. He's almost definitely going to be getting that hatchery up here soon.
Yeah, this is a map where we see a lot of sort of like Ling-Baneling micro battles take place because of the extra minerals that you get. So you can afford more Lings. Spend your larva on that after your drone count gets up. Both players going for basically an identical speed timing. The 1 drone difference in the gas not really affecting that too much. That 12 gas differential you mentioned is still still happening, obviously. And
Dark got that speed a bit faster. I think it's like 3 or 4 seconds. It's going to be like the tightest timing window ever. I suppose it could be slightly tighter, maybe 2 seconds, but maybe he's going to try to make that work. Try to hit a timing coming across the map with a bunch of Lings. With the finishing up, the completion of the speed.
Yeah, Baneling Nest on the way here for Solar. And I think Dark will have to do the same, especially if he scouts it. He's trying to be greedy at this point in time, though, and not take it. Dark building up quite a bit of gas, actually.
Yeah, and no big swell of Lings. Seems like he's going for 6 now, but he's... Okay, there we go. Now finally using up all the larvae.
Well, with Solar having a Baneling Nest here, if he wants to do damage with this, he will simply also need his own Baneling Nest. Because Lings alone will not stop this. Okay, Roach Warren. So it's so late, though.
Yeah, I suppose this time it's going to be Speedlings into Roaches as the aggression here for Dark. Maybe he's just trying to put on a bit of pressure, keep Solar back in his base with those safe Banelings, and then maybe take a faster third. He's actually already sending the drone up there. So it looks like that is the idea.
Oh, man. I don't even know if he knows there are Banelings. He should. Pretty sure he saw the Baneling Nest earlier, but this is just simply not going to work without the Roaches. Solar's adding his own Roach Warren because he's like, well, you're not making Banelings, so you don't have Banelings, so I know Roaches are the likely fault when you committed to this many Lings. And Solar's ahead in workers as a result. Some really aggressive micro here by Dark, and he is going to actually run by.
Yeah, it's all about just buying time to get that third base up with the tempo, but I feel like he's losing the trades here. He's not going to be able to cancel the third, although it is farther behind. It looks like Solar may have canceled that.
I think he may have was afraid and he thought he needed to cancel it, or maybe he misplaced it. I couldn't quite tell. I think he just got a bit jumpy there. But, he does buy a lot of time with these Ling shenanigans, if you will. The Roaches are out, and it looks like he wants to try to push across a little bit here, at least over towards his third base to make sure this is held and secure.
Yeah, and sometimes what you see on this map is players that just use that third base at the gold to go for even more aggression because you get that extra larva, but looks like Dark himself just wants to actually saturate up those bases. I mean, he was on 20 drones for a very long time. He does have to get some semblance of an economy up here, especially with 3 golds. Otherwise, it's just kind of a waste.
Yeah. And, you know, he's working on that. And no layer tech for either player, as it's such a terrifying thing to do on this map with all these high-yield minerals. The aggression, as you mentioned, is just quite powerful. 2 Ravagers going to come out here for Dark again defensively. And it's looking like this game may just slow down, Valdez.
That's kind of stabilizing here. Solar had the higher drone counts, and he will get this gold base saturated faster, but Dark gets the 3rd base a lot faster, so has that extra macro up there, and we'll be able to get more drones out here faster, so kind of just evening up. I think Dark's got the slight advantage in terms of army supply, but Solar is still ahead in drones.
Yeah. He's actually transferred all of his drones to the high yield, so his main base is kind of drone sparse. You can see that Solar has almost as many drones at his 3rd base, so because of that extra drone count that he has. It's like Dark is just trying to spend more money on army right now as a result of this exchange. Interesting choice. Both players are moving out towards the middle of the map now and cranking out units. The longer this goes on, obviously the better it is for Solar. He has the better economy.
Yeah, pumping out 26 links, now 28. Fast catching up. I think Dark's just trying to catch him off guard. He's cleared out all the overlords in the middle of the map here. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to take this fight. He needs to be very careful about those main links, focus them down, and that he does.
He lost a lot of his lings to the north. Corrosive Biles here are going to be sometimes what decides these big ZVZ battles. Huge hits on the back of those roaches, but these lings are on top of the Ravagers here, and Dark can't move.
There it is, the snoot move. You get the surround into the Corrosive Bile, and with that, Solar jumps ahead to a victory in this fight, but more reinforcements coming across the map for Dark.
Yeah, Dark had a huge swell of units for that first fight because he cut the drones and pulled the drones over to his 3rd base, but the longer this goes on, again, Solar has a better economy. Now, I like this move. He's going to send 8 lings over to the 3rd base. And they're going to find some damage here. They're going to stop some mining.
Yep, just shift-clicking there on a couple of those drones and going to get 2. Stop that mining, as you mentioned. Draw this army all the way back by Dark a lot of time. Looks like he's going to go for a Baneling Nest now and stay on low tech. No lair on the way, whereas Solar's is halfway done.
This is just such a funky game because Solar is massively ahead in drones. Dark isn't even mining from his main base. He's just trying to rely on those 2 high yields. And lairs on the way, as mentioned. I don't think Dark can keep this up for much longer, to be totally honest. I don't know what he's going to achieve. He's like defending while he's massively behind in economy. He's making a ton of lings. But by the time he moves across the map, I don't think lings are going to be the answer. He's going to try to crash banelings in and win a fight.
Might just be. You know, he's obviously not planning to saturate his bases and go for the macro play. He's looking to make as many units as possible, and right now it's 90 to 71 army supply. But look at this. I mean, Solar's getting a nice read on this, and I think he knows exactly what's happening. He needs to get as many units out here as fast as possible. It's kind of low on gas at this point. He really needs something to stop this.
He's trying to make a few banelings here at the front. I mean, he's got so much gas invested in upgrades. He needs to just make sure his positioning is good with these Ravagers. All right, good Corrosive Biles here to zone. A few banelings get canceled. Dark does have the larger army here.
Yeah, nice concave for Dark too on the attack. Solar kind of bunched up here on the right side. The banelings coming through, getting some decent hits there. The Corrosive Biles on the left side doing a number.
Oh man, I think Dark might have too much. He's got still all the Ravagers alive at the back. Some good splits against the Biles as well. And even Lings are at the front starting to clean up these Queens. He continues to push forward here. He's 20 army supply up, you know.
Somehow it looks like Dark has pushed his way to this victory. He wins the big fight. More reinforcements coming out here for Solar, but the army of Dark is grouped up, and now the drones have to be pulled.
Dark hit this army for so long, and Solar still, saw it before it came, but he still just was not prepared. He's trying to get more and more roaches out to defend, but he's just not able to.
Yeah, the follow-up of the Speedlings too. GG, that's going to be it. Dark takes game number 4. Ties are right back up. We have a series here, Wolf.
We do, 2-2. Not what I expected to see for the start of this series. Really impressed with how both players are playing. And now our next map is going to be Laralac Crest for game 5. So this is getting pretty tense here. It could still go either way.
This is, You know how I know this is one of the highest levels DVZs I've watched in a long time? It's because a lot of the time when we're watching this, to be honest, I'm like, I don't know where he's going with this idea. And then he does it, it comes to fruition, the entire build or the idea in Dark's mind, and it works. And I'm like, oh, wow, you can just do that in this matchup on this map.
Yeah.
If you hit this timing, you know.
Yeah.
He's just like, no, Solar thinks I'm going to transition. Like, he knows me too well. I always transition here. So I'm just going to build up as many units as possible. Even though I'm on lower economy, he's probably making drones, which he was. And then I'm just going to walk across and kill him.
Yeah, he also hit those lings for a long time, that massive ling swell he made and all the banelings. Solar saw it the last second, then didn't cancel any of his upgrades. He was so confident he could hold. He didn't make any extra banes because he couldn't have the gas, like you said. So he was like, all right, I'm getting +1, I'm getting roach speed, but I'll just keep him. I hold this and then I crush him. He was too greedy, and Dark punished him for it.
Yeah. So there it is, 2-2 so far. Looks like we're going to go to a 5-minute break before we get to Game 5 on Lilac Crest.